Here's a young guy you need to meet. This is Rob. Robbie Carlott, who could be a pain in the ass but was loved deeply by so many, died on Thursday morning in Long Beach, California. He was 28. His father and spokesperson for the family, Larry Carlott, said the cause was an unusually ridiculous level of stupidity. Robbie Carlott was a restaurant manager for the past 7 years, most recently serving as the food and beverage supervisor at Hustler Casino in Gardena, California. Prior to that, he was the manager of Winston Pies in Brentwood. Mr. Carlott was also a competent chef, and his specialties, burgers, Philly cheesesteaks, and buffalo chicken wings, are fondly remembered in Venice Beach and Syosset culinary circles. Known as the King of Shenanigans, Mr. Carlott, a bright, charming, and very funny young man, packed a lot of living into his 28 years, though he harbored a darker side and was occasionally self-destructive, according to those who had shared a house with him. He could be a real stupid idiot sometimes, said the family spokesperson. Robbie James Carlott was born on January 18, 1991, in Joplin, Missouri. He was adopted at birth by Karen and Larry Carlott. It was love at first sight, said the family spokesperson, who spent much of the early days with the younger Mr. Carlott, eating crap, yelling at him, and watching inappropriate movies. That pattern, known as hanging with Rob, never fundamentally changed in their ensuing years together. Mr. Carlott grew up in Woodbury, New York. He briefly attended Farmingdale State College before moving to Binghamton, New York, where he sold weed to many of the stoner kids on campus at SUNY Binghamton. Mr. Carlott had many girlfriends over the years, but never married. He had no children that we know of, though not for lack of trying. He'd go after any girl, not afraid of the possible rejection, and it was crazy because it worked the majority of the time. Mr. Carlott was a rare combination, according to those who knew him intimately, of heartbreaker and heartbroken. He is survived by his parents, Larry and Karen, his brother Zachary, who also declined to be interviewed, but not before adding, "Dad, I don't feel like crying right now," and his cat Biscuit, whose whereabouts remain unknown. This was sent to me by Robbie's dad, Larry, who is the writer, and he is a writer. And if you're like me, you immediately sense that underneath the cleverness of this obituary, and it's very well written, it's clever, there's some pain. And in fact, that's true. So if you are a parent and your kid dies before you, which I can hardly even imagine, everybody's going to process that in different ways. If you're a writer and you're a good writer, like Larry, you write a book about it. And it's called A Space in the Heart. And his goal is to help other parents who are in the immediate aftermath of their kid dying. And Robbie took his own life. He died by suicide. And this book is especially poignant in that regard, and especially helpful for parents who are at a loss about what to do. And it doesn't really matter as far as the book goes how someone dies, but it's like a user manual for how to navigate that first year. This is just a tiny bit from the preface. It says, "I'm sorry. I'm sorry for your loss. I'm sorry for the agony you're in. I'm sorry you're reading this book right now. Even though we've never met before, I know a few things about you. I know you're in the worst pain you've ever felt in your life. I know you can't stop crying. I know you may have thought about not being here anymore. I know there are no words that can make you feel any better. I know these things because I am you. I am you in the future. I am you a few years down the road once you make it through to the other side of where you're going. Right now, you have no idea where you're going, which is where I come in." It's a really good book. It's helpful. It's also clever. And it's just gently taking you by the hand if you find yourself in this position. So I will, again, put the information in below in the caption and in the comments, and I'm sure Larry would love it if you reached out. I'm so glad he sent this to me. I do think humor has a place in getting people down the grief path. You can hardly imagine it sometimes, but I I commend Larry for combining the hard truths and the humor, because I think it makes everything so, so relatable. So I'm really grateful to be sharing Robbie's story. I'm really grateful to be sharing Larry's book. And thanks, guys.